We're back.
We're back.
We're back. We're back.
Happy New Year, everybody.
It's good to be back. We got the full crew back in the studio.
First time.
Yeah. When was the last time we had everyone here?
Every time we do this, I'm like, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
Every
fan
time.
questions are only like once a month.
Yeah.
So, and then in season we like leave for 2 months at a time.
I wasn't here in December, so it's been a while.
Yeah.
For
It's
sure.
been me and you. It's just been me. It's been me and Sav. You posted up in Hawaii with Carly Khan and Belly Digs.
Yeah, that was fun.
The secret podcast.
The secret.
Secret
podcast
training.
Secret training.
from the Outrigger boardroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that one turned out good.
It was awesome.
I'm glad.
It's amazing what technology does.
Yeah,
And we have
exactly.
these awesome mics here, and then you record it with your phone, and I was like, doesn't sound that different.
And I thought I blew it too.
It was good.
I had all the gear. I brought the Zooms out. I brought the GoPro, everything. And then I was going to film actually on the phone because that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I had the USB card in the GoPro, but then I didn't have the adapter.
Yeah.
And that was just the one little piece missing. I was like
Yeah.
running around. Went to the Outrigger offices. Like, I just got one of these.
Which
What
is amazing that
We don't
no
know what
one
that
had
is.
one.
It's like,
Yeah.
well, just check your printer. Like, I'm sure there's one.
Yeah.
Anyway, I made it work, as we always do.
Made it
work.
happen.
What surprised me was how good the audio on the GoPro was. It
Right.
wasn't that different from the phone's
Oh,
audio.
really?
I ended up using the phone's audio
Yeah.
instead. But the audio from the GoPro was actually pretty good,
No way.
which shocked me.
So if you did like because it's also a fisheye lens. So if you had the GoPro,
Yeah.
and then I have an attachment for the GoPro that actually enhances
With a little
the
mic?
audio with
Yeah.
the mic, and you do it up close enough, you could probably do a full podcast, like high quality.
Yeah,
With
and
that alone.
it really would be a decent option on the road.
Actually,
Ooh.
yeah, I should just do that.
But
Period. It's all together.
Yeah, and it's easier than taking the audio from a phone and syncing it up with the video from a GoPro.
That's probably what we're gonna do now.
Done.
Genius.
This is what happens on fan
Technology.
question episodes. Good things happen when we're all back together.
All right, we're good here, right?
We're done. So from now on, Tri's podcasts on the road are going to be with a GoPro.
GoPro.
Heck yeah. The more
Pretty
simple,
rad.
the better for me.
No adapters needed.
Exactly.
Remember that one time it was just me and you in here? I was telling Trav this the other day where it was like nothing could go right. Like the SIM card and the audio and the video, like literally. And I was like, why don't we just reschedule? We were in here for like an hour, like trying just to figure out how to do it. And we were like, you know what? We'll just.
Yeah,
We'll figure it
I'm a bit of a mess without Travis. For some reason.
That's why I just try to get here early because, like, technology, it's never been our strong suit.
Right.
And I've just had more practice troubleshooting them. And now
Right.
I figured out how to troubleshoot the memory card there and the memory card there. And so
stoked.
I think we're good.
Yeah. And
Have
we
you
got a new
guys
Zoom.
have you guys
5
done
years
episodes
later.
where it like doesn't you shoot a whole episode and it just goes to shit? Like something's
Ratledge.
completely off.
Yeah, Ed Ratledge, that was my fault, 100%. The first one we did with Eddie the Eagle is actually hilarious because I transcribed the one I did with Steve Obradovich, and it was hilarious. I was listening to the introduction. It was like, guys, I'm so sorry. This was supposed to be Ed's podcast. It's like, oh, this is where Ed's podcast died. It was like 2018. It was right after he won San Francisco.
Right.
It was such a good podcast, and what happened was I thought I had put the files on my computer, and then I cleared the SD card. But the files never fully made it to my computer. Like, they didn't upload all the way. But I couldn't get them back from the dead.
Yeah.
So I'd already deleted them. I tried to resurrect them using this weird, like, sketchy program. But when you heard it,
Gets a
it
virus.
looked like it sounded like something like you knew you were talking to a ghost. It was like this echo.
Right.
It was terrible.
Like that old dial-up internet.
Pretty much. Yeah, it was terrible. I felt so bad because it was
Dude,
such
yeah.
a good interview.
Yeah.
He was like getting all emotional at one point. He's talking about eating IHOP pancakes at some point.
Yeah.
And then he levitated,
Yeah, took his shirt off.
took his shirt off. He's
a beautiful moment.
It's a little hot in here. You mind if I take my shirt off? Go for it. I think I'm going to levitate.
Was
as
he
well.
wearing the little bandana thing too, or
Yeah.
no?
I think
he
so.
was.
Yeah,
And then he crossed his legs on his chair and like started like holding himself up.
yeah.
He's like, I'm going to levitate. Like, go for it, bro.
You do it, Uncle Ed.
Get it.
It was awesome.
Oh,
And
that's
then
such a bummer.
And then I deleted it. I felt so bad.
But then we had him back.
Then we had it back, and he delivered. He re-delivered the bonus pancake story
Right.
as if it were the first time. Maybe better because he'd practice it. It was awesome.
Did he take his shirt off the second time?
Didn't take his shirt off because it was around this time last year. So it was a little chilly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, shirtless podcast would have been aggressive. But I think that's the only one we've ever fully lost.
Yeah. But we got another. We hit our Wednesday that week. I don't think we've missed a Wednesday.
Yeah, because we swapped in one of the old interviews I did with Steve Obradovich for
exactly.
one of the books.
Yeah.
So that
That's
ended up working out.
impressive. Wow.
Yeah. So we're slowly figuring stuff out.
We're good.
Doing a pretty good job.
Heck
Yeah.
Well, let's start off January fan question episode with the questions everyone's asking.
Yeah, there's
about
a reason Tri's in the blue
the-
sheet.
he's in the
guys
hot
set me
seat.
up here, huh?
in the hot seat. The breakup.
set me
The breakup.
You guys love drama. Wow. Everybody loves it.
Everyone, man.
So, how did you break the news to Trevor originally?
That's the question.
It's one of the many.
I called him. I mean, you know, I thought about doing the in person. You know, you don't text that kind of thing,
No.
but I definitely know that neither of us would want that conversation to happen in person.
Yeah.
So I just called him, and it was a very quick conversation, as Trevor is. He literally, I think he said, "All right, cool, yeah, you can do what you got to do." And then I was like, "All right." You know, I gave a little bit more, explanation to it. But,
Yeah.
it was literally, that was it. Quickie. There's not much dialogue when it comes to Trevor. He's just like, okay, so what do you want me to do? Hang up. I'm like, that's like basically what goes through Trevor. He's like, okay, well, see you later.
The difference in social media posts was like my favorite thing. Like his post versus your post. Like I knew what his was gonna be.
Yeah.
Like that was the least surprising thing,
Right.
but yours was just, I wasn't surprised by either, honestly.
It's funny because I had kind of drafted something, and then he posted that the next day. I was like, I'm not going to play your game, Trevor. I'm just going to do me. And I thought it was funny. I mean, Theo's was funny because he was like, he just has his like low-key trolling that he likes doing, and he likes it to be a little bit encrypted.
Yeah.
And he like broke the news like right when Chaim texted him. He's like, or right when Chaim, had the call with him, he's like posted like just a broken heart emoji on the Instagram. I was like, what are you?
You guys,
Just Theo
I
being
thought
Theo.
that Chaim like died or was like really sick or like something way more extreme than a partner breakup happened based on that post. Like I don't know Theo that well. I don't know Chaim that well either. So I texted Ia because she works with them through the Layered Apparel. I'm like, is Chaim okay? Because I was texting Evan, of course. I'm like, this is great news for you. Like any like who knows what's gonna happen.
Right.
It could help
trickle
you
down,
guys.
yeah.
Who knows? You guys are like up and coming. I'm like, and he goes, I'm not even concerned about that right now. I'm really worried about Chaim. I was like, what? I didn't even think about that. So he's like, no, I've actually gotten that question from a lot of people, but Chaim's alive. He's healthy. He's okay. Like people took that post the
That's
wrong way.
hilarious.
I never went there.
I
I never
didn't-
thought
Apparently multiple people did.
But did you? That was the first you heard anything?
Yeah, well, of course, I got a text. I was in Maryland. I got a text from Tim Brewster. Well, I got about 10. And he goes, "Are you seeing this?" And then and then no response. I was like bowling with my family or something, and I come back to my phone. It's like, "Are you seeing this? Do you know what's going on with Theo? What's up with Chaim and Theo? Like, have you checked out Theo's Instagram posts?" And so I go on Instagram and look, and it was just classic Theo.
Yeah.
And so I texted Theo and was like, "Yo, what's going on?" I immediately thought partner switch up, and he said, "Yeah, Chaim dumped me for your partner." And I was like, "Damn, I thought Trav would let me know." It's like I feel hurt.
Chaim's taking over the podcast.
Yeah, it's like damn. It was hilarious because my older brother called me and he's like, "Try didn't tell you first." It's like, why would he have told me?
Well, first of all, you tell Trevor, Theo, and Chaim first. And then Theo just told the whole world right away.
Yeah.
Like I woke up and what? Did you text me that day?
Yeah, because
I was like, all right, we'll get to it tomorrow
Yeah.
and like start leaking it, whatever.
Yeah.
And it was just instant.
I know, because someone on here was like, why didn't Try break the news on the podcast? But there was no time.
Yeah.
Well, I would have. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you tell the guys first, like, and then obviously we'd like to have it on the podcast, but we weren't even here.
Yeah.
And then it was like Travis had to write an article already because this Volleyball Mag found out about it. And
Yeah.
like, it was just like too much.
Yeah, because Lee called me. Lee Feinswag, editor and publisher of Volleyball Magazine. He's like, I know you don't like doing like breaking partnership news, because I try to let everyone just do whatever their own thing.
Yeah.
And then when people are ready to do whatever they want to do, then I'll be like, all right, now we'll talk to you.
Right.
I was like, the word's kind of out. You
Yeah.
guys want to talk about it?
Right. Well, and Theo was just like happy to.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so, I mean, Instagram eats first,
See-
as everyone knows.
Yeah.
Phone eats first.
Phone eats
Always.
first.
Yeah, this is weird. I've never been through that, not really before. Even with Hayden, we just naturally broke up
Yeah,
because
because you were sick.
Yeah, he just like gave me a call. I was like, yeah, of course you're gonna pick up. It was actually Theo. It's kind of funny.
Yeah. Or was it Ryan?
I thought it was Theo first. No, it was Ryan. You're right. It was Doherty. But yeah, it's just weird, and 10 times weirder for me. Just that it's being Trevor, like a lifelong friend. It's
Yeah.
just like, I hate that all of our livelihood is tied together.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah.
Have you
what
seen
it
Trev?
is.
Have you guys like hung
Yeah,
out
we
since?
went out. Yeah. Saw him a few times in Hawaii. It's funny because Kame was going to Hawaii to visit his brother on Kauai.
Yeah.
And then he flew over for 3 days. And I didn't tell Trev. I was like, this is going to be funny when you guys run into each other. Sure enough, like first day, Trev's at Outrigger, like lounging on the beach.
Yeah.
Trev, I brought camera out. Like, oh, God. And then we had a barbecue at a friend's house and stuff, so it's all good. But yeah, had to give him some space too.
Yeah.
Because he had to figure a bunch of stuff out. And it's never easy. And you have sponsorships tied together. You have, points, and you don't know. I'm one making the first move, so I obviously have something in mind what I want to play with, but he doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's just, you just hope that it's not like a negative move for him. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm actually curious, and I think a lot of the audience would be, is how sponsorships work, how you
Yeah.
structure the contracts.
Yeah.
If you do it as a partnership, understanding the volatile nature of the sport. 'Cause I
Right.
know Kame and Theo had a good deal with Laird
Laird
Apparel
Apparel.
that they're now having to figure out.
Yeah, well, so sponsors generally tend to like having teams instead of having one player. They want the team. So when they sign you as a team, they hope that stays. But if they know anything about beach volleyball or sports in general,
Yeah.
partnerships change, teams change. Then you have to go back in with the brands and see how you can work it out. Can they afford to bring another guy on? So now you have 2 teams instead of 2 individuals, or you just have to figure it out. But when guys are under contract, they're under contract, so you can't like take the contract back necessarily unless you broke it, which would have had to be in writing. Like you only get this deal if you're teamed up.
Got it.
Yeah.
And me and Trevor didn't have any team deals like that.
Okay.
We had same sponsors, but
Individually
individually,
contracted.
and we're, to be honest, kind of figuring it all out right now, re-upping stuff. So we just kind of split a little bit in terms of like finding deals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we can get back together with all of our major sponsors.
Yeah. And you're I'm kind of stealing the fan questions for a second.
Go ahead.
Jeez.
You're one of the few with an
Did
agent.
you write this on
Seriously.
Instagram? You submit these questions?
It's my burner account.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, beach volleyballer. But you're one of the few with an agent.
Yeah. I tried to do that early on.
Yeah.
I think early on you're like, oh, we're not making that much money. Why would I want to pay 20% to someone? And for me, it was like, well, I want to learn what it means to be sponsored, what brands are looking for, what all. And I scored with back in what year was that? 17, I think, 17, 18. Got a really good agent that's like doing big deals for motocross athletes. I think one of his girls is NASCAR now.
Nice.
But he's, in it. He understands the world through and through outside of volleyball.
Yeah.
Because obviously the sponsorship world in volleyball is kind of small right now compared to what it used to be. So yeah, I chose to go that route a long time ago. Bring him in on all the deals, have him run all the deals, and over time I've seen that it brings me way bigger deals.
Right.
Like he understands how much these brands have, and whereas they can fully take advantage of you, and which they take advantage of so many athletes in our sport. So yeah, he's runs all my deals, and I work on a lot of stuff with him.
Yeah.
It's fun. It makes me feel like I'm actually running a business, and like he teaches me all the ins and outs. And
Yeah.
It's great.
And you have, I think, some of the most sponsors for the men.
I think I'm very lucky to have my sponsorship package right now. And I'll be honest too, I've heard so many times, first of all, brands don't enjoy talking with agents. And if they are going to talk with an agent or a manager, that person better know what they're doing. Because, like, go to a Monster Energy or something. One of these companies that sponsors thousands of athletes or hundreds, they know what they're doing and how to do it. And when someone comes in and tries to kind of BS them and act like they know more than they actually do, they're just like, turn off.
Yeah.
So it's good to have someone that knows what they're doing. But it's hard. Sure. It's hard to get. I've gotten lucky.
Yeah. I'll turn it back to the fans.
No, I mean, it's very interesting. Like, for me as an up-and-comer, like, I'm trying to learn all about this same thing, too. And this is finally the first season where it's like I'm locking it down with a partner. And so it's like trying to brand ourselves together. It's very different. I'm just used to, like, going out and, I was, like, trying to figure out if I wanted to sign with someone, too, because I was like, do I want someone to take 20%? And if so, it needs to be the right person and whatnot, or do I use my connections and try and get the personal relationship? It all just depends. So it's very interesting. And then thinking about you and, like, you and Trev versus Chaim and Theo, you guys both have, like, good board short, like, sponsors. So then it's like, what's going to happen there? Like, you guys, like, do you go with Legends? Do you go with Later? It's just an interesting thing.
Well, they're under contract. Chaim and Theo and me and Trevor weren't after this year. Our deal had ended. So that's why we're up in the air with it.
Yeah.
Well, number one, you got to think, is the person that you're hiring, like, going to teach you a lot?
For sure.
Like, do they know a lot more than you, or are they another peer coming in and being like, all right, well, I guess we could figure this out?
Yeah.
Then it's like, well, you're not really bringing too much value to me negotiating these deals. Whereas, like, if you have an agent that's going to teach you stuff and you're going to grow and learn more, then are they bringing in 20% more money?
Exactly.
And my agent's bringing in more than 20% than more than I would have brought in by myself. So he's paying for himself.
Yeah.
But you have to take that risk in the beginning.
It's also the time that you're saving yourself.
And time.
Which I think, especially for individual athletes, is so valuable. We were talking earlier when I was on the couch. It's like, it's amazing how much fresher my brain is when I'm not training.
Right.
But you're back to training full time, and it's exhausting.
Yeah,
you're training,
so I
and
can
you're
send
lifting.
a little text. They're like, hey, should we check in with this company rather than actually putting time into that email, which you got to choose your words wisely.
Yeah.
Like I said, like, speaking to these brands. And I still feel like I don't want to be the one running these meetings with a really big brand and a really big contract that you're trying to negotiate. I want him talking.
Yeah.
And then he throws, people ask me my stuff. I run my, talk about what I know, and he does the rest.
Yeah.
That's just, like, where I feel comfortable. And I probably am better versed with talking to brands than most volleyball athletes.
Yeah. Well, I think working with an agent, too, who's in that realm, like motocross, NASCAR. My dad raced NASCAR for a long time, and those are, like, some of the only other athletes, aside from us, that need sponsors. So that's a sick deal you have.
Like, they have, like,
they're everywhere. Yeah.
So I love it's called the Ricky Bobby Award.
Exactly. Right, yeah, exactly.
I mean, rest in peace, AVP award ceremonies.
Yeah, exactly.
Banquet. But Sav, there used to be an AVP banquet every year where they do awards, and there was a Ricky Bobby Award for the person.
That was the Pokey Awards,
Pokey Awards,
There was, like, the joke awards on the side.
But the Ricky Bobby was the person with the most sponsors, or who just sold out for sponsors.
Yeah.
Casey Patterson was like the 10-time reigning.
Or some people have, like, 8 patches with a total whopping value of $600.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, switching up, why aren't you and Chaim playing in Doha? Are you just taking more time to get ready?
Yeah, so to be honest, it's kind of on me a bit. I got PRP injection in my knee, and I just had like chronic jumper's knee, and I was like, this offseason I gotta do something about it. So I got the injection, and then I played in Florida after that. Obviously the knee performed well, but it was bugging me. So I was like, kind of like, damn it. I kind of re-irritated it, or just irritated in general. And so I'm not jumping. I didn't jump last week or this week. What week is it? Yeah, I'm still not. Probably not jumping for another till Monday, which is like the 20. I don't know what day that is. 24th or something.
Yeah.
Of
The
January,
last Monday in January.
Yeah.
which is when we'd have to leave for Doha, and that's just what made sense for my knee. And then I told Cayman, I was like, oh, I'll go play it. Like I'm down to get going, but my knee, like ideally we could give it a little more
Yeah.
time.
It gives you guys more time to connect as a team
Yeah,
too.
and then he's like, dude, let's take our time and connecting as a team and figuring stuff out. We're 2-3 weeks in now and like still trying to figure out just weekly scheduling and we're trying to establish how things are going to be and set the tone for the whole year. So we're plenty busy, but Doha's just a little too early. And the biggest thing was there's a huge gap after it.
Yeah.
So now we're
Yeah.
going to peak and then unpeak, whatever you want to call it. Taper down and then ramp back up. So that was just there's a lot of teams that are pulling out for that reason without injury or any kind of rest. Just like you didn't want to rev up so early.
It's weird timing. Yeah. How is the game different for Tri being a full-time blocker versus split blocking? Because, I know when you and Trev played, like, in certain situations you would go up and block and he'd play defense.
Yeah.
But what is that going to look like for you? Running up more and whatnot?
Yeah, I'll run up pretty much I'll run up full-time, but I told Cam, and he's on board, and our coach and everything, like, we both train for both. Like, he's 6'5", and obviously I know how to defend at this point. And I've built up so much experience. That's the one thing that like I really don't like because I was just getting so excited about defense. But I also felt like it was taking away from my blocking, and it's exciting to me, which I'm a blocker.
Yeah.
Like I take a lot of pride in what I can do at the net, and I felt like I had half the reps. I wasn't really showcasing what I can do at the net.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I'm gonna go back to full-time blocking, now's the time. While I'm still jumping high and like less sore, I guess. It's only gonna get harder as I get older. So let's go back to full-time blocking now, and just utilize that skill set right now. And I think for me, when I retire one day, it's gonna be like I want to know that I went all in on blocking at some point. Because I was with Hayden, I was like getting better and better, and then I got the autoimmune stuff, and I was out for 2 years, and then I've been split blocking for 4 or 5 years. So I really haven't been blocking full time in my what I would call my prime. And then Theo's getting blockers of the year, and everyone's getting blockers of the year, but they're not counting the per attempts for me here. No, it's just now I have no excuses.
I feel like
I want to go showcase what I can do as a full-time
For sure.
blocker.
I feel like it reminds me of the scene in The Last Dance when MJ didn't win MVP, but gosh, who won it? He was on the Portland Trailblazers.
Clyde?
Yes, Clyde the Glide.
Mm-hmm.
And MJ was just ruthless on
yeah.
Clyde
Yeah.
in the playoffs when they played him.
Oh, yeah,
He goes,
yeah.
You can have your MVP,
He
fine.
took his...
I'll take the title.
Yeah, right.
And he's just like, I got Clyde.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to look at these next 3 years like, I got the net. I got
Yep.
Theo.
Right. Yeah, a little bit. At the end of the day, I think it's a distraction to think like that, like to go for Blocker of the Year awards or anything like that. I just want to see what I can do for myself, like having a rivalry or like competing with Theo, and like let's be honest, Andy's going to be up there.
Yeah.
Who knows what Phil's doing domestically?
Yeah.
It's a waste of
Yeah.
thought process, but we all have egos. You know?
The good thing with competing for Blocker of the Year is that's an okay area to be very selfish.
You're right. Your defender's going to be like, hey, you took that from me.
Right. It's like, damn it, another one?
Yeah.
Quit it.
Yeah, right.
If you were going for the most kills and you're just optioning like a madman,
right.
then we might have a problem.
Right.
But
Or ace her out because the errors don't count.
Yeah. Like Cam is never going to look at you and be like, damn it, stop sealing seam.
Right. Exactly. You're stealing it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that's kind of part of it, right?
Yeah.
A lot of the whole change in general was just me wanting to broaden my game and just like try a new system and new things. Whereas like me and Trev kind of tapped, we squeezed the juice of I mean, it was
Ball up.
4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah.
And it was so fun. Like, I think, did I say it in the post? Like, that time's gonna be like one of the best times of my career, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so fun playing our style and just like system. We don't need a system. We'll just ball up and ball out. And I love that.
And ball out.
I love
That's
that we
good.
had the ability to do that, and of course with Trevor on your team, you had the swag to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then when traveling the world is like just fun with that guy. But I'm excited about something new and wanted to go in a new direction. And we had talks, before of just like, where are you seeing things going? What are we thinking? Do you want to change? Do we want changes? And
Yeah.
For me, I was just like, I just want to go back to the net, have a defender, a full-time defender, and then have a little bit more of a system. And I think it'll look a little closer to what Hayden and I had. I didn't mean to. Like, I genuinely played with Hayden because I wanted to do it a lot for him.
Yeah.
Just because he did so much for me. And we didn't really ever break up. It was like, it got ended, so I wanted to end it on our note. And it was a perfect time for him and his family. Like, it meant a lot to them. But then playing that system, I was like, ooh, this is fun. Like, it's like a flow. Whereas Trevor just trusts his, like, dude, I don't need to do something fancy.
Yeah.
Give me up and down and I'll hit a high line.
Yeah.
And I respect it.
Yeah.
But I kind of like the flash sometimes,
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily just the flash, but like, I just want to try new stuff.
Yeah.
Open up the system, get back to me blocking. When Chaim did call me, he was like super fired up. Like, dude, I would, I want to put in the work. I want to go to Mikhail. I want to do all this. I was like, oh gosh, he's telling me everything I want to hear. Oh crap. And I was, I was open to changes for a little while there. I was just kind of open to it. And so when he called, I was just like, damn, he kind of checked the boxes for like me making change and like doing things in a different way, the way I want to do it. So it was like, I just had to. It was very, very stressful.
Yeah, I bet.
Losing sleep, I'm just like, what's the right answer there? And when it's your friend, it's just like, oh my God.
Well, yeah, for how long, like, for people who didn't read the article, like, how long had this been, like, did he approach you? Did you approach him? How long was this, like, process kind of going?
Well, I was just all in all season. Like, my thing was, like, don't even let that into your head until Phoenix. Like, that, I'm seeing this partnership through 100%, and then we'll figure it out. And then I was just kind of open-minded. Like, let's just have a fresh start right here and see what I need personally, and then let's put all the pieces together. And ideally, I already have the team together. These are all the right pieces solidified in my mind. But then I was like, I do feel that I'm like craving a little bit of a change in certain ways. And then so I just went down that rabbit hole. And then, wait, what was your question?
Well, just
Who reached out? You kind of
like just what was the process of the whole
events?
thing? How long before you told Trevor? Just for some people, like, to give them context if they didn't see the VB Mag article, like, and then who did you call? Chaim? Did he call you?
Well, we played in Florida.
Yeah.
And I was just talking with Hayden a bunch because I was with him and just being honest with him.
Yeah.
He's been a mentor of mine. Like, I've been in the gym with him and his trainer, Mikhail, who's his guy, since I was on tour, like, since I was a pro. So it's just like, where do you see me at right now and where I can go and all this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I mean, I see that you could make a change and it could open your game up a little bit. He was just honest. He acknowledged that I was in a good place as well. Like, well, I mean, Trevor's going to side out, so like, as long as you side out, you're going to win matches, And then that is when Chaim and it wasn't Hayden wasn't doing this whole thing, but he did mention to Chaim when we were there. He's like, hey, just so you know, like, try kind of like open-minded. So like, if that's something that
and then they went
make sense
0-2
for you, you might want to at least reach out to him.
Yeah.
And that's why he called me.
Yeah.
And then that's when I put in my head, like, damn it, I have to really consider this. It was like I didn't want to, but I knew that I needed to.
Right.
And then, that's when I was just, like, mulling over it for, like, I don't know, a week or two or whatever. And then in Hawaii, I was like, dude, first of all, if I'm making the decision, it's now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go into the new year and, not give Trevor time to build his team. And, that was the window, was after the last AVP and before the new year. So I just called Trevor once I finally decided, and then told him, and then started talking to Chaim. All right, who do we want to coach? Had a call or two with coaches, and then we ended up. Leandro was down to stay on board, and then I was like, I told Mikkel right away, obviously, and then opened Mikkel up to Chaim, see if he wanted a piece of it. And he's like, yeah, I'll try it. Like, why not? And then the first session, he's like, oh, this is awesome. And then we just, came back, started figuring out scheduling, how much we want to do this, that, and just kind of built it all from scratch. And now, here we are.
Here we are. Love it. It's exciting.
How's the training been?
Sorry, not too much drama, guys.
No fist fights.
No crying, but a lot of stress.
Yeah.
No fist fights yet. We'll see.
I know. I can't wait for that first
Trevor
game.
and Theo's, their hype of it all is, I think they're going to be relentless about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's so funny.
Theo's buying in, by the way. Like, he was, like, somewhat a fan of it, but, like, also hated it when Trevor did it.
Yeah.
'Cause he always had that, like, those jokes. And him and Trevor are good friends, even before. But now it's like, oh, screw it. If Trevor's on my team, I'm just going to be in on it. Whereas I was kind of just like, I was kind of just floating there neutrally with Trevor's stuff. Theo's going to slide into the, as he said, he had like a dark side quote or something?
Something like that, yeah. Man, talking with Theo was so funny because he was like, I got 2 years left. And I know that, I'm not a guy who's going to bring energy, but Trevor's going to bring the energy. So I'm just saying, fuck it. I'm bringing whatever energies Trevor's bringing. I was like, well, we know what energy Trevor's bringing.
Advantage but disadvantage having Travis as a friend, because he's interviewing us for like these breaking articles. But he's not he's just talking to us. And we're like, oh shoot, we got to remember that this is going public. Obviously, he's not going to burn us. But like, that was like the ADD quote when I saw it in there. I was like, that's probably not the best explanation. But I was like, oh yeah, you know me, dude. I'm ADD. I gotta switch it up.
I read that
what
and
do you mean?
like,
ADD? I was like, yeah, that's not a proper explanation.
It was funny because Savvy goes, that was the most try thing ever.
You just gotta switch. You just gotta switch it up.
That's
man.
really beating around the bush. I'm ADD. I was diagnosed.
I asked you a question, and you're like, what's the question?
Hey, see, I proved it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, man. Well, we'll take you off the hot seat for now. That was good.
Blue seat.
It wasn't not too much drama, though. That's good.
No, it's not too bad.
Pretty minimal.
No, pretty
It's
minimal.
funny
I think
because
that's bad, right?
That'd be
Everyone
the
at
fit.
home's like, oh, turn this crap off.
it's so funny because I went over. There were these two ladies who were trying to make a beach volleyball docuseries, and they were asking me about partnerships. And so I said, with guys, it's usually pretty fine, because they were asking. They're like, I can't believe that Tri and Trevor broke up. I said, yeah, I mean, but they're still cool. Like, they saw each other. It's
we
kind of
understand
fun.
the business through and through, and it's like, you really expect us to, like, we're under contract. We got to play together for the rest of our careers now,
Right.
Or at some point, is it okay to split up? And it's just like, it's kind of funny when people are so. I mean, coming off, it was like a week after getting Team of the Year, so I get that.
Yeah.
And we did have a good year, but I think people forget like the lows of the year too.
Yeah.
You know.
And it's really funny to see after World Champs, and we did that podcast, and you're like, Jesus, like, what are we doing? And then your season just took off, and it's so easy to remember how good it was.
Kinda. No, not really, because we started AVP Or was that after AVP?
I think that was after.
After
I think
Hermosa?
right after that, you went into Fort Lauderdale.
Okay, so we won Fort Lauderdale, but then we won Fort Lauderdale, but then we lost. We got a
Ninth
ninth
in Atlanta.
Yeah. So we still weren't riding high.
Right.
And then what? It was Manhattan, Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's 2 tournaments.
Yeah.
After that, obviously we won 3 of the, and it was the big ones, but that's a 5 tournament streak,
Yeah.
which I'm stoked on, and it was like clutch in the moment, like exactly what I wanted.
Yeah. But it was
long.
It is very funny to see the reactions because I mean they were both women, the interviewers, and they were like, I can't, I would never talk to him again. and they're like, how do women do it? It's like, well, women are a little more subtle, but the guys' rivalries, you know it when you see it. The women, you got to look a little closer because it's such a small world that the women got to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah.
Like, because they were asking about women rivalries. It's
Yeah.
like, if you just watch the ex-partners, that's where there's usually some underlying tension. Guys, you just see the tension. It's there.
Right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's just such a funny little dynamic.
I mean, it'd be weird if there wasn't these kinds of partner changes. And
Yeah.
whatnot.
Yeah.
It's part of the sport. It's the hardest part of the sport.
Yeah.
It is what it is, though.
Don't, and that they tell you not to work with friends or family, right? It makes it harder.
Oh my god, I love it. Okay, so shifting gears, I want to touch on the 4-man that ESPN did. So, what opportunities for beach volleyball did the ESPN 4-man event open up? And you guys were both there, so talk about it a little bit.
Yeah.
It looked really fun.
It was a really cool setup.
Yeah.
It was a really huge bummer that it was raining and very cold.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it was not that it was weatherproofed, but it was more weatherproofed than the Kelsey Ballerini concert was, which
Yeah.
had about 50 people because there was this.
What is that? Oh, the concert next to it?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And she's like a country music headliner, and there's almost no one there, but because there was this little kind of open bar buffet area with they probably fit 250 people or so in that
Where we were?
little building, yeah.
Yeah, at least.
At least,
I'd say
and
so.
it was all glass. So there was this kind of glass viewing area, and Delaney said that, like once we started playing, like a lot of people started watching from the glass. If it was a nice day, I think it would have been awesome.
They would have
It
packed
would have
the
been so
balcony,
cool.
and then there was a balcony, so it was dumping rain. No one's
Yeah.
on the balcony, and then they had a full area around our court with 2 food trucks. So like it was
And
and a
cornhole
bar,
and ping
there was a
pong
bar.
and yeah,
So like people would have been out there
Yeah,
for sure the whole
yeah.
time listening to the concert. So that was a bust, but the setup was amazing, and I mean we delivered considering it was freezing.
yeah,
I think it was just more like for fun, co-ed kind
Yeah.
of thing, but some good volleyball plays, I'd say.
yeah. It was fun, and the people that I talked to anyway from ESPN and Disney, they thought it was great.
Yeah.
They loved it. So
Sponsor thinks
love
that I saw her like shortly after for her training, and she's like, 4-man is gonna take off. Like she loves 4-man, and she wants there to be like a 4-man league and all these things. Like she was so hyped after it. She's
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be the new big thing, and yeah.
No, I mean, I think there's definitely the potential there. I mean, the product, there's a really good product there.
Yeah.
I mean, beach volleyball doubles is a good product too. You know,
Yeah.
it's a matter
Yeah.
of getting it out there in the right way. But I agree. I mean, it's so fun,
yeah,
and you can be a pure beach player and play 4s well, and you can kind of be a pure indoor player and play 4s well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the trippy part.
Yeah.
Whereas like indoor players can't play doubles and doubles players can't play indoor.
right.
So it's super fun.
Yeah, and I think that it's a blast because we don't play it very often. Whereas if we played on a 4-man tour and did 2-man exhibitions,
Right.
we think, oh, 2-man's so fun. You're so
Probably.
involved.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think, like we play on the beach and then I get to go to the mountains in the winter. I'm like, oh, I love the mountains.
For
If
sure.
I've lived in
Yeah.
the mountains, I'd love to go to the beach.
Yeah.
So it's fun because it's a change.
Yes.
Especially co-ed. Like playing sponsor is
Well, and it's
incredible.
It's less work.
She's so
It's
good.
way less work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
way less work.
Like if I can set or just block or play middle, and we just like at the Austin 4-man where we just set the tailors on the pin the whole time. I was like, oh, this is great. Off season, we can just cruise. I can cover,
Yeah.
hit a few in the middle maybe, block some balls. Perfect.
And it was funny to see the competitiveness. It slowly started to get up. Where our last match was me and Therese, Sponsel, and Leela, and Casey, I think Taryn, and maybe Kristen. And you could see that, at first, Madison's like, all right, it's a women's net, so only set the girls.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Casey started just bouncing balls. And we were like, all right, so I'll set Leela. And we'd start setting Leela. And then the last 30 balls, Casey just set Chaim 2 balls out of the middle every time. Just Yahtzeeing balls on like the 4-foot line. So
well, when you have like ESPN execs and like Disney execs watching, you're like, I'm not going to just patty cake this thing.
Yeah.
I may have blasted Sponsel in the face.
You did.
Good thing she's tough as nails.
Yeah.
I felt so bad, but then she didn't even wipe her face.
Well, she just wore it.
She wore it.
Yeah.
Point blank. She was blocking, and she like did a dive move, so she took her hands out of the way and just like cuffed it back right into her face.
It was fun though, and going to the game was fun.
Yeah,
too.
for
But
sure.
A couple people asked. I didn't put it in there. They were like, "Well, why didn't you guys advertise it? We would have come, but you needed a ticket to the game
luck.
and a ticket to the tailgate. So good luck spending the $1,000 on
Yeah,
that.
literally.
So I figured, if the AVP can't charge $5 entry, you're probably not paying $1,000 to watch a 4-man
in the rain. And then a football game that's what
65-7.
65-7 was so bad. Still happy I went, but that was terrible.
Is the Austin 4-man thing going to come back? That was really, I wasn't there, but it seemed really cool.
It's up to the McKibbins.
Yeah. Did they kind of help run this too, or no?
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah.
They were kind of the contact for it, I think. Or Madison, because Riley's overseas. They are always interested in it. Like it's in the back of their minds. They know they can do it. They know it's successful. It's just a matter of timing, wanting to be done, bars wanting to host it, fans wanting to watch it.
Yeah.
But I know that they have it in their back pocket. And they're the best people to do it because they can create the content around it.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. Well, we can shift gears again, kind of touch on the AVP stuff. Do you think they're going to... when did they release the schedule last year? Was it in January?
It used to be in the year before the year.
It used to be December.
I don't remember.
I think last year was around late January or February.
Yeah.
So I never know what the AVP's doing.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but our reality. So it's funny, like, everyone's trying to get like answers. What are you guys gonna do? It's like we literally don't know either schedule.
Yeah.
It's funny because we have an FIB schedule, but there's a lot of in negotiations on the side of it.
Yeah.
And I'll at least give them credit that they sent players a preliminary.
Right.
Like, here are the dates that you might want to mark off.
Yeah.
It would be nice to for the players to get that from the AVP.
Yeah. By the time this comes out, maybe we'll have it.
Yeah. And I'm pretty surprised at how well under wraps the Volleyball World schedule's been kept.
Oh, right. So, yeah. How has it?
Yeah, no one really knows about it.
Wait, it's not announced?
No.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised that none of the players are posting about it or anything. Everyone's waiting for Volleyball World to do. It's kind of a respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there haven't been, like, AVP players freaking out about the AVP schedule.
Yeah.
Which means maybe our standards are just lower, or we're very respectful.
Well, I think
okay, just take your time. It's just our lives.
I think
just our livelihood. Don't worry.
I think when the AVP made a big deal about its 2021 schedule drop, and they're like, "We got 3 events." Everyone's like,
"Yeah." Even I roasted him. I gave him a nice roast. On the
I think everyone's
social.
like, "Yeah, it's whatever you want to come out with.
Yeah,
It's fine."
at
this point,
And last year was cool. We had 16 events, so we'll see. I doubt we'll see 16 again.
About 16.
Well, 16 for me. You had about 4.
No, we
No,
had
7.
Yeah, we had like 7, I think.
Yeah.
Because
Well, how much was it with pro and
Pro
and
Gold?
Gold Series?
maybe
was
8.
it Austin, New Orleans. What was after that? Hermosa, Fort Lauderdale,
Atlanta,
Chicago, Manhattan, Phoenix,
Florida.
Phoenix and Central Florida.
and Central Florida. So 9.
9. Well, 8 with a Phoenix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's honestly, we don't have that much time for much more than that around the FIB
Yeah.
schedule.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think 10's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
10 would be cool.
10 good events is a good number, I
And they
think.
usually have Chicago's always that was it Labor Day weekend normally, and then Manhattan and Atlanta will probably stay in August.
Yeah.
So those have been great. Okay. Someone asked about Phil. You think how many he'll play in, and just what his schedule will be like in 2023, and with who?
I think he'll do the same thing. That's my vibe.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he was like, I got to get out of here and stop playing. Like, this is brutal. He's just, I think he's enjoying finally playing for fun.
He's just cruising, yeah.
People not expecting, like, you're Phil Dalhausser, like, win every single tournament and smash everybody.
Yeah.
Or else we'll be bored.
Yeah.
You know? So, like, him playing with other partners, which might have cost him the MVP by dilly-dallying like that.
Yeah.
I think he's enjoying it, and I think he's clearly capable of half-assing it and still being really freaking good.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Phil's just going to keep... I think he had a lot of fun. I think he really enjoyed last year.
Yeah.
And he did... It was hilarious. So when we posted on the SANDCAST Instagram about you and Chaim... Oh, no, it was who do we think... I cut out a clip of who we thought was going to win their first AVP next year. And me and you both agreed that Troy's a pretty good pick.
Right.
And Phil commented and said, anytime you want to get a win, you know who to call.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe Phil and Troy.
Exactly.
Because Troy still hasn't made any moves. I saw Paul Ottman's playing with Salila
Phil
Tucker now.
wants to make a run for the Manhattan with that little dialogue. He was throwing a little something out there last year.
Yeah.
And then Trevor bid in on it, said something. I think he said he wanted one more.
Okay.
One more plaque on the pier. So I could see him picking up, a Troy or something for a Manhattan. And,
Yeah.
I mean, anything could happen with that.
Yeah. And Troy's still floating around, so maybe it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I'm very curious to see who Troy goes with because I mean, I don't know if any of these are fit. I mean, just biking down the Strand, you see all the partnerships and all this stuff. You're like, oh, is that happening? Like Miles, Evans, and Chase, maybe that's the one. Is that official?
I've seen that.
I've seen them training a couple of times.
I don't think anything official, but
Yeah.
I've seen it a few times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It makes sense
Yeah.
because Lottie announced today he's playing with Leela Tucker.
Leela.
Did he post that or something?
Yeah. They did a little collabed
A little
Instagram,
collab,
so that's
I
as
saw
official
that.
as it gets.
Right. That's Leela's huge. That's huge for him.
Yeah,
Right?
That's a good pickup.
I mean, he just got Lotman's international points.
Yeah.
He's stoked.
Yeah, and so that means
a
that
great pickup.
Miles Evans is not playing with Paul Ottman, which would make the fit with Chase
Yeah.
make more sense.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because they took a 4th in the Elite 16 in Australia. So,
They could be good on any given Sunday weekend.
yeah. Lottie and Chase, Chase and Miles, or Lottie and
both.
Leila? Yeah.
Both. I mean, Miles Evans kind of can, like, when he's hot, like, he's elite,
Yeah.
So you just don't know when he's going to go off.
Troy could go back to blocker too, or split block.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
freaking
easily.
in
Easily.
in the King of the Court, he got a 5th with Kyle defending for Kyle, and then he got a 2nd with Matthew Immers blocking. for Matthew Immers. It's
Wow.
pretty incredible.
That is pretty good.
'Cause
He got
Immers-
second with Immers?
Yeah,
Dang.
pretty dang good. I mean, that's a field that had Bartosz Wojciak and Michael Brill, Sharif and Ahmed.
Oh, yeah.
Amon and Helvig won, but I mean, he beat Brower Musen in the final.
Damn.
So that's a pretty good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So, I mean, Troy, he's had a lot of near misses. He was hilarious because I texted him and said, congrats on a good King of the Court. He goes, I love those silver medals, don't I? I think
At least no one's calling him
time's
never
coming.
Troy. Like they were, when Trevor stacked up a few silver seconds, he was never Trevor.
Yeah, so Troy, I think the time is coming
Yeah.
for Troy to get his.
Yeah.
Someone asked, now that you brought up the King of the Court, why don't more U.S., I mean, they said men's, but men's and women's teams, why don't they go do the King of the Court stuff more? 'Cause it seems like a super fun event.
It's super fun. It's just like more volleyball, and it's not adding to. Obviously, we have to focus on AVP. We have to focus on FIVB for international. So it's an exhibition.
Yeah.
It's not crazy money. It's halfway across the world. Usually, it's like if it's in our off season, it's like, damn, I gotta use this time to rest.
Yeah.
And then if it's in season, you're like, damn, like that's. I don't know if I can fill this weekend with another event.
Yeah.
But we always get the call for it, and it's like, I really love what Wilco's doing, so I want to contribute to it. It's just,
Have you
just
done
be
any of
nice
them, or
if
no?
We can do it here in Cali or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played in 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. It's fun for fans too. Like once the fans like really figure out what's going on, it's sick.
Have you done one?
No, I debated going to this one
Mm-hmm.
in Doha. One, because I think Doha is really cool.
Have they always been
I
in
love
Doha?
Wilco.
No.
Well, Doha's just like
More recently.
just
Yeah.
hosting a ton of
Yeah.
events
They were
right
in the
now.
Netherlands mostly. We had
Okay.
one in Hawaii. It was backpack
Oh, wow.
off of the AVP
Cool.
we used to have.
Yeah.
We had one in Huntington, which was really fun. And then a lot were in like Utrecht and like
Utrecht is where it's headquartered.
Yeah.
In the Netherlands.
the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah. But they've had them kind of all over. They probably had 10, more than 10. Probably.
Yeah, they had 4 this year. I think all of them did pretty well.
Yeah.
But in terms of why the best U.S. teams don't play, I mean, you could also make the same observation that no Brazilian teams ever really travel unless they're there. No Canadian teams ever really travel. It's
Yeah.
just, it's more travel, I think, which is the top European teams. Getting to Doha is really easy.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting to the Netherlands is really easy. Or, where I think they went to Hamburg. It's pretty easy.
Yeah.
It's like us
And
going
cheap.
over to play AVP.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You bring
Yeah.
it to us, okay. But if we have to go overseas
sure.
and we're not already there, it's like,
Makes sense.
Yeah, and most of our top players, they have families
Right.
and budgets.
Seriously. Exactly.
Trust me, if the money was higher, we'd all be there.
We'd all go.
So I think
Not that the money's terrible
Yeah.
for an exhibition, but
Yeah.
but I think the players unanimously love it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kyle Friend, I talked to him on my way here actually, and he had the best time. He said
Really?
that like all the players are treated really well. His parents loved watching it. So Wilco puts on great events.
Yeah, they
It's just
pay
tough
for
to-
your. I think they pay for the hotel the whole way through too.
I think that comes and
Depending,
goes.
yeah,
Yeah,
depending
Okay,
Per-
okay.
It depends on the event.
And
Okay.
they can offer, depending on your situation, I think.
Yeah.
Well, we got just a few more just random questions to wrap up on. So, someone asked about Miles Partain and his decision to is he gonna go beach for the Olympic run? Is he gonna stick with indoor? I don't know if you guys know,
I
but
think he decided he's going to go for beach with Andy,
yeah,
Yep.
from what I understand.
Yeah. And he's turned down some offers. He's got calls, and he's sticking with Andy. So him and Andy are going for it. I don't know what his schedule looked like because when he commits to something, he commits.
oh yeah,
But he is finishing indoor, I think.
Yeah.
So he's going to
Yeah.
finish season and then be done in
First
May?
weekend of May,
Mm-hmm.
really.
and then go straight into indoor. which
Yeah,
is-
so he said,
Go straight into beach.
he committed to UCLA and Sparrow, and so he's going to finish that commitment. I don't know if he'll get a weekend off, to play
Yeah.
one of the events in March or whatever. But I mean, the good thing with Miles and Andy is that there's probably going to be 30 events in the Olympic qualifying
Yeah, it's not going to
process.
They'll be
So
fine.
It seems like a big deal missing all that, but they're going to get their finishes. They're going to
Yeah.
get there. If they want to get 20 in
Yeah.
out of their, the 12 they have to choose from, they'll be able to get 20 in.
it's like Megan Kraft too. She's going back for another season at SC too.
I was wondering if she was going to redshirt. Is she going SC? Mm-hmm. Okay.
So she took the fall off, and so she's going to go back and do the season with them. And I don't know I don't know what her requirements are, how many trainings a week she'll be able to get in with M, or if she can miss. I remember when Tina was there, she missed a couple tournaments to go
Yeah.
do some FIVB stuff. So I'm not sure. Dane's usually pretty good about that stuff. So
Yeah.
maybe she'll get to go to some. I think Miles was I talked to Andy briefly, and he may be able to do a couple in late March or something like that, or I don't know. So we'll see what happens. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah.
How do you keep your focus?
Well, Sponsel,
She was
when
doing
her
it
and
with
Clay's,
yeah.
she went from Gulf Shores to Brazil.
Yeah.
And to play a country quota. And then I remember they did like a fake little graduation ceremony, maybe in Espino
That's
or
right,
Warsaw. Yeah.
Warsaw, yeah.
One of those. And yeah, you just hit the road and go. It's nuts.
Yeah, it's a
So
lot.
impressive. Yeah. So I don't know what your guys' systems are with this, but someone mentioned using credit card points or miles for flights. So maybe touch on how each of you guys travel and what credit card, what airlines, kind of all that. Because I'm still trying to figure that out. But it's very interesting.
I'm not a whiz with it. My new partner is, which is great. He's like, oh yeah, you get this and you get some points over here. I'm
He's a
like, "Ah."
thrifty guy.
He's very thrifty. So I'm happy about that. I might save a few bucks. But for me, I've just committed to United Airlines basically my whole career. I'm just like, screw it. I'm going all in on this airline every time Because then eventually, if I can hit 1 million miles, which I just hit 500,000, I can get gold status for me and my spouse for life. And then by committing to one airlines, obviously you're going for status, which means you're going to get upgrades.
Yeah,
and
of course.
I get upgraded a lot with my status, which is huge throughout a season. And then you get no bag fee. Like, my bags can be overweight.
Yeah.
I get to check in earlier, and then I get on standby lists. You get lounges, especially internationally. It's big, where you're just like, I just need somewhere to chill, and like sometimes there's showers and like really nice buffets and stuff. So it definitely is nice. And then credit card wise, I just go with the United Mileage Plus. So everything I do for my business is business oriented goes on that credit card, and then anything I'm spending, it doesn't have an international fee or whatever.
Yeah.
So anything I'm spending on United, I'm getting bonus points on, and it's all going into giving me more flight credit.
Yeah.
So I mean, by the end of the year, I have enough. Every year, I have enough points built up just from credit card to fly my wife and kid back to Hawaii and back, and maybe even take another trip for free.
Yeah.
So I just use it all on them, because I want to buy the flight. I have to buy the flights myself. To get the status.
Yeah.
So I just use all the free flights on them, which I'd be buying anyway.
Yeah. What I used to do is just, I would play the credit card bonus game, where I would get the American credit card and get the 60,000 mile bonus or whatever, and then I would use that for a year and close it before the annual fee kicked in.
Yeah.
And then I did that with Southwest, did it with United, and then this year I did it with Delta. And so me and Delaney, we got the best Delta card you can get, which is an Amex, and so that came with 100,000 bonus miles, which was huge. And then you get the lounge access, upgrades, all that stuff. So we just flew Delta the whole year. And then by the end of it, I was platinum, and I flew for free Wapaka and back to Atlantic City, down to Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale home. Wow. All on miles.
Yeah.
And so that saved a
Amex
ton.
has a lot of perks.
Yeah.
There's a long list.
You just got to be careful, because the interest rate's like 26.7. So if you carry a balance, you're going to get in trouble.
Pay your balance.
Yeah.
With all credit cards. Don't even get a credit. I mean, me personally, don't get a credit card unless you're going to pay it monthly.
Yeah.
But
so if you carry a balance,
do
you
it yourself.
Yeah.
But
see what happens.
And then now Delaney gets a companion pass with me. So she'll fly for free round trip once a year.
Yeah.
Which, if we use that for Maryland for Christmas, it's $900 to go round trip around that time of year. So that pays for the credit card and then some on its own. Yeah. So I'm going to stick with Delta. One, because I freaking love Delta.
Yeah.
It's great internationally. It has a lot of good partner airlines. And just like, I get upgraded all the time. I got upgraded first class, first time in my life.
There you go.
Going back to Maryland. It's
How's
like,
that?
whoa.
It's
Ordered
nice,
a steak.
It's nice, huh? I know.
It's like,
dude, it's
what?
good. Some of the meals are good.
The guy next to me.
They cook the fresh cookies, and you can smell them baking in the front.
Oh my gosh.
Problem is, now every time you go back, it's even worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then especially when you smell the cookies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's cookie time and I don't get one. Like, oh no.
The biggest one for me, beside the cookies, was that I get to pick my seat for free. And so I get exit row every time.
All the time.
For free. Yep. And because I would buy it.
Economy Plus, right?
Yeah.
It's like that little added.
Yeah. Anything.
Bonus.
My rule is
It's free.
anything more than 3 hours, I would buy it.
Yeah.
And
it can be like $150 sometimes.
Yeah, when you get an overseas flight, it's like $120-$150.
Yeah.
And so that was great because like Cape Town, just got to pick exit rows, and Cody Caldwell was like, "That's where you're sitting." Like, and Cody,
he's in like the middle back.
He's like he's like 6'7". He's got limbs all over here. And I like he was sleeping all scrunched up, and I like dropped him, putting athletic greens on his little table. Like, here, that's all I can do for you.
Oh, get some nutrients in, bud.
Yeah.
Well, it's good to it's good to know. Evan and I think are gonna do the Amex one. I'm still trying to figure out because like there was a lot of places we went to this summer that. Because everyone was like, do United, go with United. And is that, so I made a United, I have like a United number or whatever. And so I think that the partner I flew with a lot was Turkish Airlines. Yeah, and so United. I just put in my miles or my Turkish little number.
Awesome. If you're flying any big flight, just get points. Like, I have a Delta number.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
every once in a while, I'll get booked on a Delta flight or something, or where that's the only one you can take. So I stack up Delta points as well. Every once in a while, I get a free flight away.
Yeah, I think I have the Delta, I have the Star Alliance, and then the One World for American too, because we had to go on Qatar Airways a lot too, and that's an American partner.
Qatar's great.
So just trying to find the right one. But yeah, Evan had the Southwest credit card. He had a companion pass, so going to AVP stuff this year was awesome.
Yeah.
He flew like a ton of miles. I guess Southwest had a deal where they combined 2020 and 2021 because of COVID, so he had all those points. So we got companion pass. So domestic stuff was awesome, and then international stuff. I mean, it was good, and we definitely gained points. But it'd be better just to stick with one. So we were kind of going back and forth between the Amex, and then we both have Chase. Like the Chase Sapphire Reserve card has a bunch of perks and stuff.
I like
so
that one
I don't
too.
know.
There's another really good one. So if you get an Amex, you should also carry a Visa with you for international, because Amex is kind of hit and miss.
With the fee,
But the Capital One Venture X is really good because it comes with a priority pass that gets you into pretty much any lounge
Oh wow.
anywhere. They have I
Okay.
think 2,500 lounges you can get
Wow.
into around the world.
Okay.
And so you're not, because with me, if I'm not flying Delta, I can't just scooch into the United lounge. But if you have the Venture X and the priority pass, it gets you into anywhere that takes priority pass, which is almost everywhere.
Yeah.
So that's one to look into. Not necessarily an airline, but it's a good travel card.
Yeah.
If you think you're gonna be traveling heavily, more than AVP, and going internationally, I think pick an airline. That's my advice.
Yeah.
You might have to spend a little more money, but like 5-6 years from now, especially if you move up the way that you plan to, you're gonna be like really bummed if you didn't stack up a lot of those miles on one airline.
You gave me that advice pretty early.
Yeah. I keep it pretty simple. I mean, you can look at what is it called? The Points Guy website, and he explains everything perfectly for, not beach volleyball players.
Yeah. Like Points Guy and
I'm not that good at this. I just keep
Wallet.
mine. I have my business. It's a business card. So you're kind of limited when you're doing, business credit cards. There's a lot less options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just keep my one, and then I have a personal credit card too.
Yeah.
But yeah.
There we have it. Beach volleyball finances.
Not only is
I
SANDCAST
don't
my
know why I'm
therapy
giving
session.
any advice in that.
I mean,
I
you
learned
live
a
in a
lot
pretty
on
cool
here.
house.
Yeah, that's true.
You're doing all right for a beach volleyball player.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I just watched I literally rewatched Gabby's post. It was like a 6-minute post about the full remodel. I'm like, this is just the coolest thing
it's
ever.
amazing.
Like, she's done such a good
She's doing the
job.
garages today. And our SANDCAST sign, by
Yeah.
the way.
Yeah. New surfboard coming in
New
house.
sign
it at some
coming in
point.
soon, guys. Watch us on YouTube.
Like and subscribe. We have a guy
Shout
who
out
comments.
to Wilson and Athletic Greens and YK as we keep me hydrated.
Yeah. We have this guy who comments on all of our YouTube videos. He's like, remind people to like and subscribe. So like and subscribe.
Hey, yeah, like and subscribe. Support us, guys. We need the subscribership, and share with your friends as well. Should we bring Naya in?
Naya's making a
close
lot of
the-
appearances.
To close the
Ben!
episode? Maybe a little Bentley
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty much done with the questions. We just have Travis's Skyball needs some work, and then someone asked, who's your favorite videographer?
Whoever starts to work for us next.
Yeah.
Could be you.
Frito was the one who asked that, so just...
Oh,
I do love Frida.
Frito was killing it. And
Come here,
also, we
Ben.
need to get in touch, Frito. Because we're going to need you next year.
Yeah. Looking to do some more fun stuff.
Yeah.
My skyball does need work, but I skyball right-handed, so give me a break.
Frito's the
Oh,
one.
wow.
Frito's the one that does our my vlog. What do we call it? Born on the Beach.
We're on
Yeah.
the beach. What do we
So
call it?
just shout out to Frito Misto.
Speaking of, I should go there at some
Yeah, it
point
sounds
soon. I love that
delicious.
place.
That's Delaney's favorite spot.
It's a little chilly, too. A nice big bowl of pasta.
Yeah.
It's a good group. We could have a group. Because isn't it family style?
Yeah, they're big. It's pretty
big
big portions.
portions?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Cool.
It's pretty good stuff.
Naya, come. See if we get her to send the episode off.
Come on, Nai.
She's getting shy. She's riding a horse.
We have a Shia.
Shia papaya. Okay, we're done now. We're not recording anymore. She was lighting up these mics the other day.
The video you sent was awesome.
Oh, I sent you a video.
Yeah.
We're here, podcast, and unicorns, and
I loved when she goes, "You tell me about your day on that microphone."
yeah. It's like, oh well, I'm sitting over here. All right.
All right, guys, get out the full squad back together.
Yes, sir.
Awesome as always.
Peace.
Shoots.
Shoots. Peace and shoots.
Peace.